Candace Owens was born on April 29, 1989, in Stamford, Connecticut. Raised in a working-class African-American family, Owens grew up in a household where resilience and self-reliance were core values. Her parents divorced when she was young, and she spent most of her formative years living with her grandparents. Life was not without its challenges. At the age of 17, she faced a deeply traumatic event. Owens received 3 racist voicemails filled with violent threats during her senior year of high school. The incident sparked a police investigation that involved the mayor's son and eventually resulted in a settlement of $37,500 from the Stamford Board of Education. The episode left an indelible mark on her life and influenced her later views about race and politics in America. After high school, Owens attended the University of Rhode Island, majoring in journalism, but financial difficulties and personal challenges forced her to drop out before completing her degree. She moved to New York City, determined to make her mark in the corporate world. Early in her career, she worked as an intern for Vogue magazine before landing a job as an administrative assistant at a private equity firm. From there, she transitioned to a role as vice president of administration at a Manhattan-based private equity group. However, Owens wasn't satisfied with corporate life. She wanted influence and impact. In 2015, Owens made her first foray into the digital space by launching a site called Degree 180, which published lifestyle content and commentary. At the time, Owens identified as a liberal and criticized conservative figures like Donald Trump. Ironically, within 2 years, she would become one of Trump's most vocal defenders. The turning point came in 2016 when she planned to launch a project called Social Autopsy, a website that aimed to publicly expose cyberbullies by linking their online identities to their real names. The project drew massive backlash from both the left and the right, who argued it was a form of doxing. The criticism and threats Owens received during this period shook her faith in progressive circles and catalyzed her ideological shift toward conservatism. By 2017, Candace Owens had reinvented herself as a conservative commentator. She started creating YouTube videos under the name Red Pill Black, targeting what she saw as the hypocrisy of liberal ideology and identity politics. Her message resonated, especially among young conservatives hungry for diverse voices. Owens emphasized self-empowerment, personal responsibility, and skepticism of mainstream narratives. Her critiques of movements like Black Lives Matter and her support for then-President Donald Trump earned her praise on the right and ire from the left. It was a transformation that would define her career. Owens' rise accelerated when she joined Turning Point USA in 2017 as Director of Communications. In this role, she became a prominent figure on college campuses, speaking at events and debating political opponents. Her fiery delivery and unapologetic style made her both a lightning rod and a star. By 2018, she was appearing regularly on Fox News, expanding her reach to millions of viewers. She cultivated relationships with high-profile conservatives, including Kanye West, whose public praise of Owens in 2018 catapulted her name into international headlines. In 2019, Owens left Turning Point USA and launched the BLEXIT movement, encouraging African Americans to leave the Democratic Party and embrace conservative principles. The campaign drew mixed reactions, but underscored her commitment to reshaping the political landscape. Later that year, she testified before Congress during a hearing on white nationalism, where she challenged narratives about hate groups and accused Democrats of weaponizing race for political gain. Her testimony went viral, cementing her status as a fearless and controversial voice. Owens' personal life also became a subject of interest. In 2019, she married George Farmer, a British conservative and former chairman of Turning Point UK. Farmer comes from a wealthy background and political lineage, and together they represent a transatlantic conservative power couple. The pair have children, and Owens often shares glimpses of her family life on social media while maintaining a fiercely protective stance about her privacy. Professionally, Owens continued to expand her brand. She launched The Candace Owens Show and became a prominent podcaster, eventually joining The Daily Wire in 2021. Her podcast covered everything from cultural debates to interviews with major political figures. She also authored books including Blackout: How Black America Can Make Its Second Escape from the Democratic Plantation, which became a bestseller and reinforced her position as a leading conservative influencer. Owens is known for challenging mainstream narratives and courting controversy, but the events of 2025 marked one of the most dramatic episodes of her career. In early 2025, she released an 8-part podcast series titled Becoming Brigitte, in which she made a series of explosive claims about French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte. Owens alleged that Brigitte Macron was born a man, accused the couple of being distant relatives, and even suggested that Emmanuel Macron had been involved in CIA mind control experiments. These sensational allegations immediately sparked global outrage and drew strong condemnation from French officials. The Macrons responded with unprecedented legal force. In July 2025, Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron filed a 22-count defamation lawsuit against Owens in Delaware, seeking significant damages and demanding that she retract her statements. The complaint, spanning over 200 pages, accused Owens of engaging in a deliberate smear campaign that threatened to damage their personal and professional reputations worldwide. French media described the lawsuit as one of the most significant international defamation cases in recent history. Owens, true to form, refused to back down. She invoked the First Amendment, framing the lawsuit as an assault on free speech and an attempt by a foreign leader to silence an American citizen. Her supporters rallied behind her, while critics argued that her comments crossed ethical and legal boundaries. The case sparked a firestorm of debate about the limits of free speech in the digital age, the accountability of influencers, and the growing tension between national sovereignty and global media reach. As the legal battle unfolds, Owens remains defiant, continuing to host her podcasts and comment on politics. She portrays herself as a truth-teller targeted for speaking out, while her opponents see her as a provocateur exploiting conspiracy theories for attention and profit. Regardless of where one stands, there is no denying that Candace Owens has mastered the art of staying in the headlines. Beyond controversy, Owens has had an undeniable impact on American political discourse. She has inspired a generation of conservative activists and sparked conversations about race, gender, media bias, and personal responsibility. Her critics accuse her of spreading misinformation and deepening divisions, while her fans praise her courage and willingness to challenge powerful institutions. Love her or hate her, Owens occupies a unique space in the modern media ecosystem, a space where personality, ideology, and spectacle converge. From a teenager dealing with racial harassment to a polarizing political powerhouse entangled in an international lawsuit, Candace Owens' life story is one of reinvention, ambition, and relentless pursuit of influence. Her journey illustrates the possibilities and perils of the digital age, where voices can rise from obscurity to global prominence, and where a single podcast episode can ignite a geopolitical storm. As of now, the outcome of the Macron lawsuit remains uncertain. If Owens loses, the financial and reputational consequences could be severe. If she prevails, it may embolden influencers to push the boundaries of speech even further. Either way, this chapter ensures that Candace Owens' name will remain etched in the chronicles of media history, not only as a commentator, but as a central figure in a defining debate about truth, accountability, and freedom in the 21st century.